Hello everyone, this is Sam Balsara here, and today I'm here to present to you Advertising Age India's new talk show Adage Unicorns. So hopefully over the next 3 months I will bring to you interesting legends from our field of media, advertising and marketing and help you find out their untold story about how they became what they now are, truly legends. In case you're wondering where I'm sitting right now, let me tell you, it's a small room, a little dark, but this is the room where fireworks happen every night and almost the whole nation stays glued onto what's happening in this tiny room. Yes, I am in that room today. In fact, it is the studio where NewsHour is shot and telecast from every night. Yes, you guessed right. My first guest to open this series is none other than the big boss of Times Now and the man behind NewsHour that has made Times Now the highest in ratings amongst all the competing channels. Arnab, thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you.
Agreeing to be on this.
Well, it's great.
Legendary show, Adage India Unicorns.
Fantastic. Well, it's good to be on the other side.
Yes, and thank you for letting me be on your chair.
You're the first person, Sam, who will be sitting on that chair.
Oh, wonderful.
Usually people don't want to sit on that chair.
That's an honor. So to get this started, I'm tempted to ask you, Arnab, who are you going to grill tonight?
Haven't really fathomed yet. But we make a plan, we were just making the plan while you were walking past the studios. So we get the news agenda sorted.
As you know, I watch NewsHour regularly and I watched most of it last night.
I'm glad.
And last night was particularly fiery.
It was a hot show. It was a hot show yesterday. The subject was hot of Salman Khan. And I felt that Bollywood is being completely hypocritical about it. They can criticize Mulayam Singh Yadav when he endorses rape. But to be quiet after Salman Khan says something like that, I think is just bizarre. So I went for them,
So isn't it true that most people who come on NewsHour are not totally objective? They're representing an interest or they're representing a predefined point of view. So they're never neutral parties.
I disagree with you. You say that many of the people, I would say none of the people who come on NewsHour are objective or neutral in that sense. No, none of them.
That's what I meant.
Everybody is either this side or that.
Or that side.
Yeah. But Sam, I'll tell you, most of us are either in life this side or that. It's just that a lot of us, we say we are in the middle, but honestly on all issues, if you take a straw poll among people, people either agree or disagree. There are very few people in the can't say category. So the NewsHour sort of represents that.
As you know, Arnab, I've now known you for many years.
Yeah.
And tell me, how did you get into journalism? Because, at what age did this fascinate you? That you decided on journalism. Why not advertising? Why not engineering?
Wow,
why not
absolutely. There were a couple of careers I thought of. One was law at some point, and advertising also at some point I think crossed my mind, because it's the kind of job that generalists, we were all liberal arts graduates from college, journalism, law or advertising. These are three obvious options that you look at if you don't do the civil services. So how did it actually happen? I don't know, but I'll tell you, Sam, I have been a debater since school. So since I think I broke out of my shell when I first took part in an elocution competition. And I said, when I won my first prize in elocution competition, I said, it was just great. It was exhilarating to lose stage fright. To get a third prize in elocution competition, I remember class 7, opened my mind. I started debating by the end of class 7, 8. By class 9, debating was like my second identity. And it was also where I felt I was really excelling and doing well. I was a above average student. I was never an exceptional student, but I must say I was a damn good debater. So I debated for Mount St. Mary's in Delhi. I debated for Kendriya Vidyalaya. I represented my school at the All India Central Schools debate. I debated like crazy through my 3 years at Delhi University Hindu College, represented Hindu College in almost all colleges of Delhi. So I was one of the ace debaters, and I think those 7 years of debating is what I'm doing for a living. Because if you look at it, the NewsHour today is the two subjects of the day and the two big debates. And it lets me, I let my hair down in the course of the debate. It takes me back. It takes me back to my school days.
But Arnab, why not politics? You didn't think of politics? I think most of my viewers don't know, but Arnab's father was in politics. His grandfather was in politics with the Congress and father with BJP. So I would have thought Arnab should have been in politics.
Well, you missed out that my other grandfather, my maternal grandfather, was one of the founders of the Undivided Communist Party of India. So in a way, all parties have been represented. I've never been interested in politics, Sam. There's been enough of that in the family. When I started my career, Sam, I wanted to do something on my own where I can make a mark. And politics was not somewhere where I was even remotely interested in. Media is something where I feel I have a direct impact on society, a greater impact, where I can retain my independence, my own sense of professional and personal integrity, where I don't have to compromise on my values. And being in Mumbai, being in this wonderful profession, gives me a say in the great democratic churn in our country. So I'm very happy with it. At the end of the day, I'm like everyone like you, want to be a conscientious citizen who has done his bit for society and for this country at large. And if we can do it with the media, then why venture into something we are not interested in?
Wonderful. Arnab, when I think of you, I think of NewsHour. You made NewsHour famous. You made the whole country watch NewsHour. And NewsHour has made Times Now what it is, high on ratings and what not. But now, don't you think the format of NewsHour is kind of appearing on most channels? So what next?
Yeah. So the first point is that I don't think the format of NewsHour should appear on most channels. If you want an honest reply to that. And the reason is because, Sam, everyone should evolve their own style. I have said this to all other channels and I meet them informally is, don't be a Me Too. Do your own style. This style on NewsHour, Sam, as you know, you've seen my own personal professional evolution over the years. It's evolved, Sam. As a viewer, you know this is not what we did yesterday. It's not what we did a year back, which is why it's got to be dynamic. The NewsHour of 1 year, 2 years from now, there will be a NewsHour, but it may be different. So we got to evolve with the times. I think debate is integral to Indian society. It is integral to homes. I think we are, as a country, as a people, as a society, a very, very argumentative society. And what is NewsHour, Sam? It basically represents the argumentative spirit, which is also what makes India great, because we never agree on anything and hence you can't build a false consensus. So I think this format will pretty much stay. But I have been trying to do 2 or 3 other formats on the side. But Sam, this format of the NewsHour, I think is going to stay for some time and evolve over the years.
Arnab Goswami.
Well, I just love it. I love it, Sam. I love it every night.
Tell me another thing. Every night when I'm watching you, I always wonder, the topics that you choose are so topical. Sometimes the news on that topic has broken as late as 3 p.m. or 4 p.m.
Yeah.
And yet you have 7 guests, you've already done your homework. So how do you manage to get all these guests in your studio within 3-4 hours? How do you get armed with so much data? I mean, you have an army of people. What time do you come to work? What time do you go home?
We are working around the clock. So what happens, Sam, is that we exist on 4 or 5 BBM and WhatsApp groups. So we have
Amongst yourselves.
amongst ourselves. Within our office, we have about 10 WhatsApp groups: the news group, the NewsHour group, the guest relations group. So I think it's telepathic almost, in a way that we've begun to read each other's minds. We have a very free, sort of open conversation in which we involve everyone. We don't go into a room or strategize. We just feel that these are the couple of subjects which will work, and then we also decide which story is going to break at what time. Sometimes we time the story breaking to NewsHour. So we say that, should I give you a trade secret? Okay. So sometimes it so happens, Sam, that I know that there is this huge story, okay, which is going to break, and I have it. And my heart is palpitating, wanting to break the story. Yeah, wanting to break the story. And then I tell myself, can I break it at 1? Can I break it at 3? And sometimes my team does not let me break the story till 7 o'clock. And the reason is this: because in today's day and age, you break a story, and we have many other channels, they just lift the story of Times Now without even sourcing us. So we leave the breaking of the story till 7 o'clock so that it remains more or less an exclusive on the NewsHour. So sometimes for competitive reasons, sometimes because of the news break, we go with the flow. But Sam, that's the best part of it. The NewsHour is a show, I always believe, a story breaks at 9, we must break the NewsHour format and go with the story flow. It doesn't matter what else is going on. You cannot have those days anymore where you've pre-decided, I'm going to do this today, right? It's going to be more what's happening right now and what have I promised to the viewers.
Anybody who has anything to do with television production and content is generally obsessed with television ratings.
Yeah.
So are you, and does it sort of, do ratings dictate some of the content or your stance or your choice of guests or your choice of topics? Because after all, in the commercial world, ratings do matter, as you know.
So I do want the ratings, Sam. And I think anybody who does my job or will do a job like this in the future, or anybody, even someone launches a new news channel tomorrow, they can't say that we don't want the ratings. That's like complete denial. I mean, I know there are lots of people who say we are driven by everything but ratings, and that's just not an honest reply. I am driven by ratings. I'm very happy to see that I'm number one. I'm delighted when I see the NewsHour getting 75-80% share. Why not? Because that is why we do this job, so more and more people watch us. So that's part one. Yes, it doesn't scare me, but if I am in a business of media, you are a doyen of media, Sam, right? You know and I know that ratings matter. People put their advertising money based upon the ratings of a channel or a program. So to that extent, it's a reality, and I'm not one to run away from the reality. So will it affect what I do? The second part of your question. Not entirely. In fact, if it comes to an issue of ethics, I will never compromise. We have rejected offers of big money from political parties because we felt it was ethically wrong to do so, right? Similarly, we're not entirely driven by ratings. I'll give you a live example. Last week, we did a program on a right-wing Hindu organization called Sanatan Sanstha, which I believe is a dangerous element given the diversity of Indian society. We got very poor ratings for that particular episode. This week, I had another breaking news story on the Sanatan Sanstha. If I was purely driven by ratings, I would have said I will not touch that story, despite it having great societal importance. If an organization like Sanatan Sanstha is involved in the murders of rationalists, it has societal importance. But ratings-wise, it made me suicide. I still did it because I feel I owe my profession also something, right? We are in the business of social change. If we are driven only by ratings, it will not be correct. So it's a balance between both, Sam. Between both, Sam. Yeah.
So friends, I think we've had a good chat with Arnab in the studio, but I think it takes more than the studio to make up Arnab. So let's see what Arnab is like outside the studio.
Wow, let's do that.